Okay, yeah, it just killed the whole stream. Great. Well, if you're still here with me, I guess I will have to keep going. Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened here. Let's go to this. Let's go here. I'm sorry, pause with me for a second. I lost the stream on the other side for those that can see me right now. Go here. Go here. Can't do a redirect from there. Crap. Okay.
This is going to be a very big...
Yep. All right, well, we lost that stream, so hopefully y'all get the notification to come over to this other one because I couldn't get it reset fast enough to catch the stream link. Shout. Guess we'll just have to continue. All right, fine. Damn it. I hate when that happens. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just continue right into what we were dealing with. Let me make sure my stuff is working. But, dang it. We'll see who catches the new stream. It's been rough today. It's because I got this TikTok thing I'm trying to do at the same time. And TikTok, of course, is a little different monster, so to speak. So let's see what we got. All right, well, somebody's here. Whoever's here, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let me give it 1 second. Al Bond, thanks for stopping back in the chat. You were quick. See, that's why you the captain. That's why you the captain, right there. Man knew to switch gears for me real quick. And so he's already in here. So let me make sure I got this thing together because I need some folks in here for the main topic. And I was only 1 or 2 clips away. So, well, it says we in here. So let me just go here. Let's go here. Sorry, guys. Gotta make sure the TikTok joint is back up. All right, well, TikTok is back up, but yeah, they definitely killed that stream. I was getting too crazy for them, man. I was getting too crazy for them. Yeah, something happened. They interrupted the hell out that stream. So I'm gonna give it 2 seconds here. Then I'm gonna finish up the next clip, get into the other thing, because I still gotta get out of here. So just because YouTube and them don't want this happening, it's more that I think TikTok is the problem now, because it's the only thing I added that wasn't there before. So we'll see. And remember, this is a new live, so you gotta hit the like again. Sorry. All right, probably gonna cut that TikTok joint off. All right. Well, we'll just get into the next thing here. I wanted to give it a second to maybe redirect folks, but I don't have the time for that. So something's up. I'm having a bandwidth issue today, so I apologize, guys. Definite bandwidth issue today. Doing too much for the internet. The internet doesn't want to know that I'm doing this much. All right, yeah, all of this stuff is crashing today. Come on, not again, man. Come on. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm sorry. This thing. Okay. Well, I guess we're just going to go with YouTube today then, because this is ridiculous. This is redunculously ridiculous. So let's get back into our other clip here. I'm sorry for those that did come through, but that's cool. It'll just be 2 different episodes on the damn page. It is what it is. So let's see if we get lucky on this. Maybe we get a transition to work. Nope. But whatever. We got the clip. And here's the clip. All right. I don't even want to try to go back on TikTok right now. I'll do that after the fact. All right, Al. It's just me and you, bud. It's just me and you, man. So let's see what this is all about. All right.
Can someone explain to me the phenomenon of this personality type?
I am great.
It seems that in my lifetime, a new type of enlightened individual has emerged. Someone who claims to be able to channel godlike entities.
Feel the energy of the blue avians.
And aliens from other dimensions.
Here are 3 signs that you might be an Arcturian starseed.
They appear to be and present themselves as being extremely spiritual or in touch with otherworldly phenomena.
Yes, we are here. We are here. We are very happy to be here. Yes, indeed, dear one. Yes, we are here.
But what's really going on here? Are these people part of a new spiritual revolution? Or is it simply an identity where people display themselves on social media as spiritually enlightened?
I'm a starseed. I'm a starseed.
Can living like these people suggest actually make your life more tolerable and meaningful? Or is it all a bunch of f***ing bullshit? You be the judge. Buy my shirt.
Oh, that's funny, though. Now, let me say this. I've seen worse. And at least the one chick that was singing, that song is actually pretty hot. I've heard that song before, the Starseed song. You know, a lot of these people are now in this weird space where they're like, I don't identify with humans. Forget genders. They done took it further than that. I'm not even human no more. Forget male, female. I ain't even from the planet. I'm a alien being that's just hanging out with y'all right now, and the mothership is going to come back and scoop us in about 8 years. So that's what a lot of these people think. So I'll give them their time. If they're not out here hurting nobody, I ain't mad at it. That's what I'll say. You see what I'm saying? She does look crazy, though.
Someone who claims to be able to channel godlike entities.
Feel the energy of the blue avians.
Now this one right here looks creepy, though. She looks creepy. That's all right. I draw the line with this one because this does look creepy. But is it a cult? If the cult is about everybody feeling good and doing the right thing for each other and being peaceful, like I said, I'm not against it. It's a little weird to me, but I'm not against it. Yeah, I'm not against it at all.
and aliens from other dimensions.
Here are 3 signs that you might be an Arcturian starseed.
They appear to be and present themselves as being extremely spiritual.
Like even this shot right here. This is pretty cool. You got the little UFO in the background and stuff.
Or in touch with otherworldly phenomena.
Yes, we are here.
This one got
We
me
are here.
laughing.
We are very happy to be here. Yes, indeed, dear one. Yes, we are here.
But what's really going on here? Are these people part of a new spiritual revolution?
It said, wait till they break out the Kool-Aid and they start saying, yeah, drink this. And we'll all go to the mothership together.
That guy is she's.
Or is it simply an idea?
Like, that lady's cute. You know, I don't know if y'all can see her whole face, but she's pretty. Or what is she supposed to be, a leprechaun? What is she? Let me see if I can pull this down. It's not letting me pull. It's probably going to glitch out. I'm not messing with it. But yeah, this
Identity
lady
where
here,
people display themselves on social media as spiritually enlightened.
like this song right here. I told you this one.
Starseed. I'm a starseed.
Can living like these people suggest actually make your life more tolerable?
Now that's the question. Can living like these people make your life more tolerable? Seems like they're connected to something that's extraterrestrial, so they don't seem to worry so much about things going on here. I don't know what they're about to eat. You see they stewing up something. It could be rat poison soup that they're getting ready to take over here. We don't know. You talk about the Kool-Aid and all that. But yeah, the one chick, she thought she was a fairy. That's what it was. She was supposed to be a fairy. She thinks she's a fairy. So it's healthy, I guess, you know. Holding on to your childhood dreams. And it is a little weird, but like I said, if they're not hurting nobody, as long as there's no poison. It looks like that there's definitely that white stuff in this soup, though, looks like rat poison. But that's not for me to say, because I probably wouldn't eat anything that they're serving there, you know. I wouldn't even come by. And you know what? They wouldn't invite me. I don't look like the crowd that they're looking for. So, no invitation from me to the Star Child convention this year. So you know what? I'm through with these guys too. All right. Now, with that being said, let us have. Oh, hold on. What's this one? Oh, this is the last one. Okay, so this is the last one we got. Oh, this is some black people doing debauchery again. Ouch. See, when I get these headlines, and they're so vague, and I love it because it allows it to be natural when I see it. But sometimes I wish they were a little more detailed because it said truck PP. I didn't know what truck PP was, so I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. It turns out that's a person who decided to do their business behind a truck. So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Let me see here. Let me change this back. That there. Okay, so y'all can see this. Let me widescreen it for them. So apparently somebody filmed somebody peeing by a truck.
You pissing on my truck?
Yep. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause it right there. That was an early pause. This group, I don't want to play with. None of them weigh less than me. None of them. And they look drunk, and one of them looks kind of hungry. This is a dangerous situation for any passerby. Honestly, if somebody like this was behind the truck, for me, let me tell you, I'm a lesson teacher. What I would have done is turn the truck on and hit the gas real quick, hit them with a little exhaust, hit them with that hot on the butt, on their booty while they're peeing. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have rolled the windows down. But if you ever seen one of them like safaris where the people go to the wilderness out in Africa or whatever, and these weird wildebeests or whatever, or lions come up to the vehicle doing lion stuff, that's what this looks like to me. There is some beasts around this vehicle. And this man needs to be careful of these beasts. And instead, he's filming them like a tourist, and they decide to approach the vehicle. But like I said, I wouldn't mess with this bunch. The one in the black looked like she don't play. The one in right here with the jeans on, you see these little dunks she got on. You already know what them shoes mean. She's ready to fight. And then there's one just taking a number 1, 2, and a 3 behind your truck. This is not the batch that you want to play with. But anyway, let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen, right?
You pissing on the truck?
I don't know about the rest of them, but you might have to pee.
But on my truck though, why it started?
Fuck your truck. What? The fuck you talking about? Fuck this shit. These crackers, these Trump supporters, all that shit.
Man, she had to talk about Trump supporters? What does that have to do with your home girl pissing behind this man's truck? You angry about all types of stuff on this evening. It looks like you should be having a good time. You had a couple of drinks. Your hair has recently been done. Y'all with your homegirls, y'all are angry about the world, man. Pissing on trucks. And nobody even stopped to say, ew. But it looks like maybe they couldn't go into any of these stores. You know, a lot of them stores in the downtown area, they won't let you even come in and use the bathroom. They act like they don't have no bathroom. Like the people that work there don't have to use the bathroom ever. They be like, no, we don't have a bathroom. Not just a public bathroom. Like, we don't have a bathroom is what they'll say to you. So anyway, let's see what else.
Shit, these crackers, these Trump supporters, all that shit, bitch. We outside.
No, I'm from Florida. He a pussy ass nigga for that shit right now.
I got it.
That'll never happen in Florida.
And guess what you are?
That'll never happen in Miami.
I know, but I got it.
You a hoe ass bitch. You a hoe ass bitch.
You would never be that.
You a pussy ass hoe.
No.
You a pussy ass hoe. You a pussy ass hoe. Yo, green ass. Green ass dick. You a green ass dick. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck.
First of all, roll the window up on these beasts right now. De-escalate. They look like they can flip this truck over with their bellies. This is not the pack to play with. Now, I don't think it goes any further than this because, as you can see, they're a little intoxicated, and there's no way any of them is going to be able to hop up enough to get through that window. So we know that part. So you are technically safe there. Now, if the door opens, But none of them were athletic enough to jump through a window. So we're good there. You're safe there. But why are you playing with them? Why are you talking to them? This woman just took a dump pee behind your truck. You think she's going to be easily, talked to about the situation? She's definitely not going to be receptive. I don't know. Let's
suck my dick.
Uh-oh.
Suck my dick.
Here we go.
I'll pull it out right now.
What is he talking about? You're going to pull it out right now. Now you're in the wrong. Now you being inappropriate. As inappropriate as they were, now you inappropriate. There's just all types of inappropriateness going on in this scene.
You gonna put it in your motherfucking mouth, bitch. Fuck you. Get the fuck out my face. You can put this motherfucker in your mouth.
So her response to some random stranger saying that he would put his penile in her mouth was basically to say that it wasn't big. Not that she wouldn't do it, but just that it's, you ain't got nothing, you ain't working with nothing anyway. Oh, whoa. This is supposed to be an aggressive confrontation, man. It seems like you're trying to do some business after the fact. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
With your pissy ass. You gonna let her touch you? You gonna let her touch you and she ain't even wash her fucking hands? You just pissed. What you wipe your ass with, bitch?
Oh. All right.
Yo, piss.
All right. Well, this is a little more vulgar than I wanted it to be, but that's what happened. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, this guy, I would have done what I said. I would have kept the windows up, started up the vehicle, and hit her with that exhaust pipe. It looked like a Ram truck or something like that. It's got the dually pipes on the back. And even if it didn't have the dually pipe, it would have at least one on the side that the person was squatted behind. So I could have easily hit him with one of those. Problem solved. But instead, this dude wanted to interact with them. And then later kind of proposition for a possible sexual favor, which if these women were anything like the recent women in the news, they would be trying to sue him for something and say that he was trying to assault them sexually. So, it's all good. I am Z jumping in the chat. Z in the chat. It's all good. We had some issues earlier, so I had to cut off TikTok and X because YouTube was getting jealous again. I told you, YouTube gets jealous. If I broadcast elsewhere, at the same time as YouTube, they start tripping. I can do all the other ones and not YouTube, it'd be fine. But the second is YouTube and anything else, YouTube's like, nah, bro, you pick us and that's it. So I'm gonna find a way to do it from another system to get around that. I see what they're doing. It's because it's all generating from the same IP address. I see what it is. I know my tech, so you ain't gonna tell me nothing about that. But anyway, so this gentleman, as you can see, he accosted these wild women, and they did exactly what I would have expected them to do. Like, I don't know why he thought they were gonna be silent when he said something to them when they're using the bathroom right behind his truck in the middle of the street. These don't seem like the type of people you're gonna be able to have a rational conversation with. So for him to even start into it was a bad idea. But then I realized within the video, he wasn't a rational person. So that's why he engaged with the other irrationals out there. So you, sir, that's filming this, you are really the problem, because there was a much cooler and funnier way to resolve that. I guarantee if you'd have done the exhaust trick that I'm talking about, the one chick would have jumped up that was peeing, you might have burned a leg or something. It would have been way funnier than what this ended up being. This was honestly, you're lucky they didn't try to get in that truck. But like I said, none of them had the athletic ability to jump through that window. So, freaking YouTube. But anyway, I'm through with this guy. All right, guys. So are we going to get, yeah, we got that truck PP. We got that. Got the dude crashing out. And we got the dog lover. All right, we're going to do the dog lover for the dog people. But I'm telling you, these headlines be different. When it says dog lover, it normally means something bad with a dog. It doesn't mean good. So I'm just warning you, that's probably what we're about to see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So basically, let me tell you what the story is. According to the caption here, a woman says she's keeping her dog of 11 years after the dog bit her nose off while she was trying to give it a kiss. Let me just start here. I already have my things about kissing dogs and be telling y'all it's nasty. But now not only is it nasty, apparently it's very dangerous. So let's see what these folks are talking about. All right, so it looks like up here on the left, let me move this over a little bit, is a before picture of the lady. Let's see if I can move it without glitching the damn thing out again. There we go. So we'll do that. All right, so that's a before picture in the top left here. And what she looks like now, I guess, is down here on the right. And I don't believe this is her actual dog. I think this is a Photoshop job. Her dog is a different breed than that, but apparently this is what the dog did. So the early question is, if your dog went and bit your nose off when you were trying to kiss the dog, according to this lady, would you keep the dog? Now, I don't know if the question is, do you put the dog down or not put the dog down? I don't want to have that discussion because that's a whole different conversation. But do you keep the dog or not? Okay, let's see what this lady's got to say. She had the dog 11 years, so she definitely loves the hell out of the dog. She's trying to tongue kiss the damn dog. That's how this happened.
Okay, this is asked a ton also. After the incident, I went into complete shock. Like, adrenaline definitely took over. I don't remember feeling any pain. I just know as soon as I ran into the bathroom and saw my face, I freaked the fuck out, as one would. And then James came in. He freaked out. Yeah. Gave me a t-shirt to like hold on my face. I held my face until the ambulance got there. I don't have a single clue where King was. I don't know how he was acting after that.
He was satisfied. His belly was full of nose.
11:30 or midnight, something like that, until my surgery was the next day at 11 a.m. and then I was released when I came out. I think it was like 4 p.m. Again, I was so out of it on like pain meds, anesthesia, all that stuff, obviously. So I don't have a single clue. For like the first 2 days I was home, I was cognitively not aware of I think, anything that was going on. Truthfully, I was just like in bed. But once I like came to and I like was feeling a lot better, King, like squirrel brain, didn't have a freaking clue what happened. Did not act different.
That's dangerous then.
He doesn't seem different at all. Like I went to like wake him up in the morning and I was like, good morning, and he gets up and he doesn't have a tail. They docked it when he was a puppy, so like he always wags his whole butt, and I'm like, good morning, and he's like wagging his whole butt and doing his little like prancy thingy that he does. So yeah, no, not a freaking clue. Doesn't act different around me at all. When I first like, we have like a baby gate on like the dog's room right now, just so that we have somewhere like secure.
Oh, that's secure.
A secure place for him. We've always had that baby gate on the door, on the dog's door. Anyway, I was like knelt down like to the dog's door, and so that he could like see my face, because I want to see how he's gonna react, you know. And he gave like a couple inquisitive sniffs, and then he like ran and picked up a toy. So
he didn't care, is what you're saying.
Not a single clue. Things are normal. He's over there.
Where you at? I don't see the dog. An invisible damn dog?
Smelling something through the fence, so.
Through the fence, okay. All right, look, guys. I love my dogs a lot. I love them. I appreciate them. I have my small dog. He'll like not snap at you, but he'll nibble your finger real quick. Like if you mess with him too much. It's not to like break the skin though. It's like to tell you, leave me the hell alone. That's the most I get out my dogs. But I also have a pit bull, and love the pit bull. Matter of fact, love them both. But if either one of them bit my nose off, I think I would probably have to get rid of the dog. I'm sorry. Guess this is her follow-up after she healed up a little bit. Ugh, it still looks painful too. Somebody put in the comments, they truly love dogs more than black people. That's messed up. Whew. So it went from your forehead all the way to your nose? Like, geez, what size dog was this? So let's see what the follow-up is. Okay.
Massages, and I was just looking at the date, and exactly 10 days until my second laser hair removal treatment. My patients are so thin, but I know they shouldn't be. I'm just like so over it all. I just can't wait until there's no more hair. And my next surgery is not until August, and that is like really bad.
She should just paint the nose red, go clown for a little bit. Nobody will notice. They'll think it's a steez. You identify as a clown. And I think that would go over better. Because this is one of them things, like if you don't know the lady's story, let's say you meet her somewhere, like she works somewhere and she's behind the counter or whatever, or behind the desk, whatever you want to call it, and you run into her, you're going to have a look on your face because you're going to be wondering what's wrong with her face. So she'll be talking to you and you'll just be like, the whole time. So I think she should embrace it differently. Maybe she'll put some makeup on it. We're going to see. Whatever she's putting on now ain't helping. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, she loves her dog. She's even got a picture of the dog in the picture behind her. Probably a picture of her kissing the dog, which is how she got in trouble in the first place. And I'm going to tell you, for my Caucasian friends and others, stop kissing these dogs in the mouth. Stop French kissing the dogs, okay? Just stop. It's dangerous. If I had fangs like that, nobody would want to kiss me. Let me just say that. If I had fangs like that, nobody would be trying to be all in my face trying to get me to kiss on them and lick on them. So let's just, it's a horror story here, but you know what? This ain't the only lady that had this happen.
Lately, like I don't want to look like this all
Yeah,
summer.
I can imagine. You probably don't. There's the dog. That's the dog? Oh, he looks old too. You see the dog? Can y'all see him? Y'all can't even see him. He's down in the lower corner of the shot here. Y'all can't see him, but he's a little older dog. Or, well, There you go. You might be able to see his head now. If I move this up, let me try to move this up for my peoples. I need y'all to see my shit. There we go. Y'all can see him, right? That's the dog right there. Y'all got him. So, I don't know, man. I'm just being honest. I would get rid of the dog immediately. Some people, they're very much like family with the dogs. And I guess if you don't care about the dog ripping your face off, then keep him around. So we'll let her finish her little statement here, but I see y'all in the chat. Purple Groovy, thanks for stopping in the chat as well. You keep stopping around, Purple Groovy, you're going to get one of those wrenches soon, too, because I need to make sure the mod squad is tight at all times. Always need to have 2 or 3 hanging around in case the troll bots come back through, because that happens. All of a sudden, we get 300 viewers, but they're bots. It's wild. And then all of a sudden, there'll be some weird, like, end of days comments come in. Christ is coming to find you. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're talking about dogs biting off faces. We don't want to have a Jesus talk right now. Later for that.
Grass green veins inside like that. Is that normal? Are you live?
I'm not live. No.
Tell me that. Is that normal?
Yes, that's fine. I love how King was interrogating the situation as well. If he didn't come ask me some random weird question while he was cooking, I would think something was wrong with him. So funny.
I think something's wrong with all of y'all. I think something's wrong with this whole situation. I think something is really wrong with both of them. And it's funny because she said the guy was just like around when she got her face bitten off, and he didn't do much. And obviously the dog likes him more than he likes her. But that's because she kept trying to French kiss the damn dog. Stop French kissing the dog. Okay? This is more like my dog right here. Yeah, the dog ringing the doorbell is pretty cool. It's a pit bull, too. So you better open the damn door. Because these things are strong, and if they want to come through the door, they probably can. But nonetheless, so this lady's situation, we know what it is. Dog bit her face off. She wants to keep the dog. I think that's not the best decision, but I'm not her, and it's not my face that's going to be bitten off a second time if King decides that he don't want to get a kiss. So, through with these guys. Trying to tell you right now, my dog, I love my dog, but they'd have been outside immediately. Be lucky if I wrap them up and put them in a bag and throw them in the middle of the street. Sorry, but I would have been under a lot of duress and anger at the time. I might have regretted it later, but I'm telling you, my knee-jerk reaction probably would have been pretty bad if my dogs did something like that to me. I'm just saying. So we're going to get into, this is the second half of the stream because YouTube got upset with our initial stream there. So we're going to get into a story that just hit. This one is it's a really interesting one. So I'm actually glad to a degree that the stream restarted because this one is kind of one of those WTF moments. So what you guys may not know is there's a lady named Virginia Guffrey who was found deceased recently within the last 24 hours. And she happened to be one of the Epstein accusers who has been very vocal about the Epstein list needing to be released. And, apparently she was taken advantage of as a child by Epstein and some other folks. And according to the news report, she took her own life. But there seems to be like some gray area there. So we're going to go over the story real quick. But for those that don't know, this lady apparently committed suicide. But let's see. All right, so to add some backstory to this, by the way, this lady also, y'all can't see it. Move it over a little bit. In the left picture, she was recently hit by a bus, right? Like the week before, or in a bus accident or something. No, she was hit by a bus. Not hit by the bus, but she got in an accident with a bus. She survives that. And then a week later, she takes her life, according to the news reports. But she said this in a clip recently.
Ghislaine woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, "Let's dance together." And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved. I was so young.
All right, so this lady, that was her story. She was saying that she was trafficked by Epstein and Prince Andrew. So let's see what's in the comments here. Well, nobody has. Now, this is what I wanted y'all to see. This one right here. So not too long ago, the same woman put up a post on X saying, "I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal." That's the first sentence of this post. "I have made this known to my therapist and GP." I don't know who GP is, and we talk about Gary Payton, general population, GoPro, I don't know. But GP, or maybe the therapist is another thing. If something happens to me, in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted. Now, let me tell you right now, people don't put stuff like this up and then commit suicide. It just doesn't work like that. They put stuff like this up because somebody has made them think that an accident may happen to them and be made to look like a suicide. And so they put this bat signal up, so to speak, to say, hey, if something happens, it wasn't me doing it to myself. Investigate. So I am prone to believe that we definitely need to investigate. They definitely need to investigate, because I have never seen a suicidal person put up a "I'm not suicidal" post. Normally they don't do that. They'll put up some "it's been real, I hate the world," like a manifesto type of thing. They never put this up. So right now everybody's talking about this case because they still haven't really released any of the Epstein stuff. This lady also worked at Mar-a-Lago as a locker room attendant in the spa. They identified that she worked there in 2000. She recalls being there in the summer. She $9 an hour. I don't know what you were doing for $9 an hour down there. Wasn't doing much. But basically, they mention Mar-a-Lago, but they don't mention Trump like doing anything. So, a lot of people want Trump to go down for it, and whether he does or not is not really what I'm talking about right now. Whoever's involved should go down. But when you have a person mysteriously commit suicide a week after they just survived a bus accident where they got hit by a bus, I would venture to say it's starting to look like a conspiracy. I'm no conspiracy theorist, so there's no theory left in this. I'm just telling you, there is too much gray area, and a person not like saying, yo, if something happens, I'm not suicidal. It's because they want you to know that something is possibly going to happen to them. And when it does, don't believe the hype that the media puts out to tell you that they were suicidal. And what is this?
Then the palace found, I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts.
All right, so we all know that there's some nefarious stuff going on. Apparently, this was another person who had been silenced.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known.
So, we know Epstein was up to something. Remember, Epstein so-called committed suicide in jail. Now this lady that just got hit by a bus a week ago also committed suicide. And I'm going to say it this way, committed suicide. We'll do it like that. I don't know. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I keep saying it. If they want you touched, you're getting touched. Nobody's above that law. Not even Trump. He almost took a shot to the head because they was trying to touch him. If they want you touched, you're getting touched. There ain't no two ways about it. You're not above it. If you are a person who has wronged the powers that be, as they would say, then you will get touched. You will get touched, man. And it's kind of scary because, I'm doing a lot to talk about the BS I see. I can't go but so deep because I don't want them to touch me. Pause. But you know what I'm saying. I don't want none of that. I got shit going on. I don't have no time to be messing with folks that are making things look like suicide. Like, that's a whole different level of diabolical that most of us are not prepared to deal with. And this woman put up a post saying, if something happens to me, it wasn't suicide. And then they say she died of suicide. So right there, all right, I'm suspecting foul play right off the bat. Right off the bat. So we see what's going on. We see what's going on. And pretty much all the comments that I'm seeing are the same kind of thing where everybody's like, yeah, okay, this was a suicide, huh? So who is Savannah Guthrie? Oh, that's the all right, so everybody's mad. They're saying that because the Epstein files weren't released, they took this lady out because they don't want, the information coming out. I mean, I'm going to be real. We all know that the Epstein situation was dirty. Like, Epstein was on some dirty stuff. There ain't no two ways about it. Everybody knows it. We know that there was probably some very prevalent political figures in there. We know that there was, we get it. We get it. So it's kind of like you got to be objective, but you got to be real. Because they'll give you a story and they want you to run with the story that they give you. They don't want you to go in there and say, hey, something's fishy. And then if you start saying something's fishy too many times, they come for your ass and you will get touched. So you got to understand, it's this flood of narratives. They need you to believe what they want you to believe in order to give you the story that they want you to run with. And those narratives are everywhere. All the media platforms, X, the CNN, MSNBC, they need you to believe the narrative so that they can weaponize you in a way against the opposite of that narrative. So I'm glad to have some of these sites like X where a lot of people can be objective, because, I would have been sitting at home watching the news, heard the story and be like, I don't know about that whole suicide thing. But then you go on X and a lot of other forums and you see a lot of people feel the same way. So it forces the media and the powers that be to work a little harder to cover it up. It's like you gotta be a little bit more diabolical now, because of technology and social media. Information gets around real quickly and people start objectively having conversations, and people are going to arrive at conclusions based on information that they're given. So if we get information like this, like somebody put up a post saying I'm not suicidal, and then they found, apparently by suicide they lost their life, automatically, boom, problem. So, news outlets are going to run with this. Panic is going to explode, and they're going to make sure that you follow suit. Just understand that that's how they do it. They basically take the whole negative narrative, explode it out, and then we run with it. We argue amongst ourselves, and while we're arguing, they're doing something else. They're working on the next story, the next thing to move you around, the next COVID-19, the next, intercontinental ballistic missile story, or the next whatever. There's fear-mongering constantly going on. So right now, they don't want you to look at this woman's recent passing, because I haven't really seen a lot of stories on it. Not like it should be, because it's fishy. Just like that other attorney general that passed away not too long ago, who was like 35 or something crazy. It's fishy. There's a lot of fishiness going on. And if we don't talk about it, then we're just going to get pulled into whatever narrative they want us to have as a whole. So we have to be vigilant, right? Because this isn't a new problem. Negative narratives have been around as long as media itself. Back in like the 1950s, comic book industry faced a massive panic because they thought that the comics were making people more violent, contributing to juvenile delinquency, promoting homosexuality because of the outfits that they were wearing. Like, people will take whatever narrative and run with. They literally thought comic books were contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. Now look at us. Comic books are the least of our worries. But at one point in time, it was like gangster rap when it first came in. So they started to encourage unfeminine behavior in Wonder Woman. Like they did a lot of stuff where there was narratives about women doing things a certain way, men doing things a certain way, and they used, at the time, comic books to portray that, but those were just regular narratives. There was like what was normal. But they started to say, well, no, you're trying to say this, and no, you're trying to say that, and before you know it, you present things and spin it a certain way, people will start to believe it. They'll be like, oh yeah, Batman and Robin was about two gay guys who were fighting crime together. It wasn't, Batman and Robin. It was like they were a couple. One was the husband, one was the wife, that kind of thing. And they really ran into, a problem. So the comic book people started censoring stuff. You couldn't have certain fight scenes and certain things in the comic books anymore. You couldn't have, none of the images could be sexually based, like the let's just say the shape of something like a car couldn't look like a penis. It was a lot. So fast forward to today, technology has not only intensified the problem, but with the 24/7 news cycle and social media algorithms, a single story can go viral in like a couple hours, whether it's true or not. Just say it, enough people gravitate towards it, and before you know it, there's a mass panic that happens just from a story that may or may not be true. But I ask you this question. with all of the content moderation and the ad suitability for us monetized channels on YouTube and all these different things that are kind of walls to getting out our personal message, how does the false narrative get to reach so far? That will take me back to the original question, which is, who starts the false narrative? The reason why the false narrative gets to reach so far is because it's implanted by those that have the means and the resources to quickly spread the information. If you're like me and you're on some of these forums, right? Certain pages always get the stories first. Now, some of them, those are organic. They're people, they're combing the internet, they're combing Reddit, they're combing Instagram, they're combing TikTok. They're going everywhere trying to find this stuff. Other people have algorithms, AI, that pull the stories with the most clicks from all of the sites, and they start pushing the stuff out. So that's why it seems like the same people always have the stories first. But do you think none of those people are getting paid to push those narratives that get pushed when they were incorrect? Just to stir us up a little bit? Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that. And then most of the stuff that they're talking about he didn't even do. Or he didn't do it like they said he did it. He did it something different, and now they're trying to spin it this way, and that makes the whole thing confusing. So the question is, are we just wired to react to negative narratives? Like when we see it, our empathy or whatever it is that's inside of us is making us vulnerable to a degree to negative narratives? I believe so. I believe if you have a heart and you have a conscience, those things can be manipulated. And I also believe, understand, and know that there's a group of people out there who get paid to manipulate how you feel and how you think. So the negative narrative keeps you engaged. The negative narrative keeps you guessing. It keeps you coming back for more, and it allows them to continue to advertise to you, which is what it's all about. It's all about ad money. But the negative narrative is also what keeps us at odds with each other. Like racism, for instance. People are racist. There are racist people in America. But the entire thing isn't racist. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are people out here that's just living their lives. They happen to be white, and they ain't even concerned with no black people. They just out there doing their thing, taking care of their family, fighting the good fight. But because of negative narratives, there are black people who think that that white person is the enemy. Not just a person who just happens to be white, and so they don't know the black experience. No, an actual enemy. They look at them as an enemy simply because they're white. And that's a negative narrative. Every time you see a white police officer, you are almost trained to think a certain way if you're black. The funny part is, from my experience, the black police officers be the worst ones. They be the worst ones. It's almost like they're trying to prove something to the other cops. So they be the worst ones. They're trying to prove that they're not being overly lenient with people that look like them. So they end up being the worst ones. It's a really twisted thing. But what we got to understand is it's not just independent media. It's not independent media that's the problem. These are mainstream media outlets that are paid to push across negative spins on information. We're talking about the Washington Post. We're talking about the New York Times. We're talking about MSN, which comes up if you use Microsoft Edge on your computer, on your Windows computer. When you first open up Edge, it's got a bunch of news. Half of the news stories are spun, they're clickbait, and they're bullshit. But they got you clicking on it, thinking that you're going to see one thing, and it turns into something totally different. Or you click on it, and it makes you mad, because that's what they want you to do. They need you out here pissed. Because what they can do is create some noise. It creates a frenzy. And while the frenzy is going on, everybody's doing everything but paying attention. We're worried about the frenzy. So while we're feasting on the frenzy, they're moving 2-3 steps ahead of where we are. And we catch everything in hindsight. So if we don't take the time to address what I call noise pollution, these are negative narratives, these are false stories that take up the time and mental capacity of people for whatever amount of time, but it was phony. So any amount of time that your brain spent dealing with it, researching it, anything was a waste of your time. So when people put this out, it's like it shapes the society in negative ways on purpose, forces us to have trust issues with our mainstream media, who's supposed to be our number one go-to source. And it risks fragmenting us further because it forces us to sit on the different sides of narratives that may or may not even be true. So even if you find out something's not true later and you've already had this knockout, drag out argument over it, you can't even recover from that once you find out the information is true because you didn't say it too much to the person that you disagreed with. So this noise pollution is not just distorting the reality. The reality is we all live here. We all have things to take care of. We're all supposed to be responsible citizens, you know, paying our taxes or whatever, and just kind of doing the best we can in life and trying to create generational wealth and health. That's what we're all supposed to be doing, not debauchery within the community and selling drugs on the corners. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing as a whole. So what happens is, even though the issues are kind of statistically a minority, some of these issues that we see, they show it to us enough that we think that that's what's actually happening most of the time. So that's why they show a lot of clips of black people acting up. People think that's what black people do all the time. But I can tell you, most black people don't act like the ratchet black people. That's why they don't get put on a video. There's a certain ilk that gets that, and they're perfectly fine with it. They're perfectly fine with it. But we're already seeing the effects. Nowadays, every 1 in 3 Americans avoids public places due to the fear of mass shootings, debauchery, flash mobs, and all that kind of stuff, which truthfully happen very rarely. Definitely less frequently than you go out. But in the back of your mind, you go into a Walmart because of all the clips you done seen in a Walmart, or you go into a movie theater because of all the clips you done seen, the crazy stuff that happens in movie theaters. You have this now new fear of going to places that you used to be perfectly comfortable with. The mass shooting fear is real because stuff happens all over the place. So people don't even want to go out no more. And so what does that do? It forces them to take in more entertaining technology and advertisement. And you don't have to leave your house to go shopping no more. You can just call it in. You heard they're doing Walmart drones now in Florida. So it's just a matter of time before that takes effect. But I want to hear from you guys, maybe in the comments later, because I got to get out of here. But I want to know if you guys have seen any negative narratives that are being pushed recently that turned out to be total BS. I know a couple of them. I know that one about the dude from Maryland getting deported. There was a big spin on that. Now they got judges being caught with illegal people in their houses. The same judges that are ruling on whether or not to lock up people that are citizens. That is debauchery right there. Absolute goofiness. But what do we do about it? What do we do about it? You see what I'm saying? What do we actually do about it? I don't know. I don't know at all. I do know that we're going to have to work together, and we're going to have to make sure that we all put out posts like this lady put out talking about, if something happens to me, it wasn't an accident. So I'm just going to make mine official right now. On this day, 2025, I'm going to say, if such a thing happens to me and they label it a suicide, it wasn't that. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't that. I love my life. I love my wife. I love my family too much to do that. So if you ever hear that story when it comes to me, Haze, Papa Purge, I guarantee that's not what happened. And I want all of y'all to go scream that from the highest mountain, because too often people come and go, pause, and they're in the headlines for a day or two, and then we just forget about them. It's on to the next narrative. So I don't want this lady's situation to just get swept under the rug, like they've been trying to sweep this whole Epstein thing under the rug. But at the end of the day, Epstein's already gone. So the only people that could get any punishment from what happened there are people that are still alive. And that would be very influential people. Regular folks weren't going to Epstein Island. It was rich people. It was royalty. So everybody is in the position to want these things to be quieted. Now, I'm not sure what this lady was trying to break at this time, but it got her touched. Okay? We all just, guys, be safe out here. Because, you know, we just happy-go-lucky. They can set it up to look like a bus accident, like what happened the week before for this lady. That's too coincidental. A week before, you get in a bus accident, and now you're taking your own life? When normally people after an accident are just grateful that they're still alive. So they wouldn't take their life a week later. That would never happen. But they think we're so stupid as a public that they can push this as the medical examiner said it was suicide, so you guys got to believe that. But we all know enough money can make anything change when it comes to paperwork. And the right people in the government calling the medical examiner's office saying, we need this to go away, or your family is going to be the next one to get a negative narrative, so to speak. I'm telling you right now, this is the world we live in. The whistleblowers, remember the Boeing whistleblowers popping up dead? This is real stuff. If you talk about the wrong group, you will get touched. Now, me, I ain't scared because I haven't really said nothing that's too crazy about anybody up until this point. But as this channel continues to grow, because I got we're working on some stuff, some collaborations with some other creators, some special guests, educators, things like that. We're really going to start digging in, and I already know I'm going to get in trouble. So like I said, preemptively, if something happens to me or to any of y'all in my chat, Purple Groovy and all that kind of stuff, I see you in there, Purple Groovy agrees. If it happens, it wasn't that what they're saying it is. Somebody came and did something, and I want y'all to investigate until you cannot investigate no more. I would say go get Pam Bondi, but I'll be honest, I feel like Pam wouldn't care about what I'm dealing with. They doing a lot with these. They're suing the states. There's all this suing going on in the government. Like they're like suing each other. And that to me is a waste of time. So the Department of Justice is suing people for like not letting them pick up ICE agents. I mean, not letting ICE pick up illegal immigrants. But that's ICE's job. So you can't not let them do what it is that they do, because then you're breaking the rules. So it's like they're forcing the federal government to waste time with litigation that they know they'll lose because, come on, it's the federal government. All right? So guys, I got to get ready to get out of here. Like I said, it is that time of day. I hope you are enjoying your weekend, but I need you to make sure that you have liked this video. If you didn't put anything in the chat, it was good to have you here, but I got to give my shout outs real quick, because what's going on now is I know that it's about to get really thick around here. YouTube has really been hounding this channel about our topics. They think that we're promoting violence, drug use, all types of stuff over here. And that is not what's going on. But that's what they think. So we're going to allow them to think that, but we're just not going to do that. All right? So special shouts to Purple Groovy in the chat. And let's see what else. My man Albon, the captain of the mod squad. That's the moderators here. He is still here. Special shout to you. Special shout to IMZ for stopping in the chat. I know you were late, but they cut off our original stream, so I'm glad for everybody that caught this second one. I do appreciate y'all staying with us here, okay? Mountain Dude, I know you probably stopped in and had to go out because we had the second stream, but everybody that came in, I appreciate y'all for coming in. So let me bring this over here so I can say my last little piece and get up out. So I want you to understand, guys, We are in the middle of what I call a mind and mental warfare. And whoever's minds can be best manipulated is the ones who will win. Okay? So if they can manipulate you into believing that somebody who just said they weren't going to do something just did it, then you will be next. Because once they have you as part of the hive mind, and you can't think on your own, you can't even believe things that you see with your own eyes, they got you by the boss, okay? And if you allow a known corrupt government, because they've been corrupt, it ain't just Trump or the Republicans, it's the whole setup is corrupt. That's why they keep finding people funneling money to themselves. The whole setup is corrupt. So if you really think that corruption just started with Joe Biden or it just ended with the Trump administration, well, that, my friends, is some bullshit. And I'm out.